What's up guys, I'm PowerWangZ and today we're going to be doing another unboxing video. This time for a little bit of streaming technology. So today what we're going to be doing an unboxing of is this guy here, Stream Deck from Gato. This is Gato's latest toy to help streamers make life simpler. This is a really cool looking device. It has 15 customizable buttons that have LCD screens, so you can actually choose custom icons for each one to be able to make tasks more simple on stream. So the box is relatively small. You can see it's just about the size of my hands. Back info, side. System requirements: works with Windows 10, so maybe works with Windows 7, Windows 8. I don't know. It doesn't say much on here. Design is for Twitter, Beam, Twitch, and YouTube. Looks like it's drag and drop to customize the icons, which is pretty dope. So really this is just a way to make your life easier, so you don't have to grab one of these and move it around and dork around. You can just press a button on this guy and get what you need. So anyways, let's get right into it. We're going to go ahead and pull out the trusty knife here and take a look what's included in the Stream Deck. I just got 2 pieces of circle tape there, keeping the contents inside the box. So we'll go ahead and pull this guy out and take a look. So, easy slip apart case. It's a nice quality box, so if you wanted to store it when you're not using it, you can always use that. So here is the Stream Deck inside of its packaging. We're going to go ahead and get this guy pulled out of here. So you've got a Stream Deck quick start guide that's got your instructions on how to get it plugged in, launched, and set up. The colors I think could be better from a little bit. It's a little hard to read, but otherwise the manual looks like it's got all the information you need. You've got your Stream Deck itself, which is just this little 15-button customizable pad with a USB cable attached to it. My other complaint here that I already notice is the USB cable is not detachable. It would be nice to see like a USB-C or a mini or a micro USB connection on this side so you can unplug it and tote it around a little bit easier. Relatively minor complaint overall. It does feel like it's got a little bit of weight, weighs a little bit more than a cell phone. And then you've got this guy. This is your dock or elevation, your kickstand essentially. It's a stand for it, so your Stream Dock slips into it and you can have it lay flat. You've got a couple of different options here for configuring. I'm going to go ahead and pull the Stream Deck out and let you see it. So it's got 2 little kickstand feet here that flip out. And then you've got little hash marks on either side that these can go in to set varying heights. So you can go all the way from just what looks to be just barely elevated so just a very, very teeny tiny bit elevated all the way up to sitting up at a nice angle. So that's pretty nice. It sounds like it's probably going to be pretty easy to configure. Excited to get this thing hooked up and get it set up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and hook this thing up to my streaming computer, and then I'll show you guys a little bit more about it. So we're going to go ahead and get that done. So the first thing here is this is what you see from the default screen once you plug in your Stream Deck. You've just got this kind of default screen that pops up, at least until you load the software, which you do have to download from Elgato's website. I have mine just as a desktop icon you can see here. So we're going to go ahead and double click that. We'll get the software launched, and then it loads the default Stream Deck package. So you've got some stuff here. If you hit that welcome button, it'll actually bring you right to Elgato's website where you can download and watch their video on how to get started, as well as get your key creating done and download the software. And it's got a whole bunch of how-tos, which is a very cool thing. So that's a button that is the welcome button there, dead center when you go ahead and boot it up. So great handy feature directly from them. And will help you get started. Now, I don't use game capture at all, which is Elgato's software, so we're going to go ahead and close that. I don't use Tippy Stream. We're going to close that. I use OBS and Twitch primarily, so I'm going to close everything but those menus because that's all we're going to talk about today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and create a couple of items here to show you what I would use for my kind of basic options. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drag a scene in from OBS. And we will create that, and that'll be my pre-show screen. I will name it. Now, this is the cool part. You have an off state and an on state for each button. So you can have a different you can have the icon look different for on and off states. So for this one, I am going to go ahead and have the on and off state look different. So the way I'm going to configure this is I'm going to go ahead, and the name will be pre-show for both of these because this is my pre-show role that I run before shows. If it's off, I want it to show on the top so I know which button it is. I can read it more easily. If it's on, however, I do want that name down at the bottom so that way it is more easily readable to me. Or it's out of the way. So that's configured how I want it to. So when we switch between the two, you can see both on the Stream Deck here and on the screen here that the icon will change in the on-off states. Now, what else I'm going to use is I'm going to use more stuff from OBS. So now what you can do is you can actually make each one of these buttons a folder. So you can have 210 different unique buttons because the primary button in the #1 position here becomes a back arrow to get you back to the primary menu. You cannot nest within menus, unfortunately, which is maybe an interesting idea for down the road to add more functionality. But what that entirely would entail from the programming side, I don't know, something maybe Elgato can do for us. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add a second scene into there. So all you got to do is grab the scene again, drag it over there, hold it over for just a second, and it will add it and become a menu. And this one then will become our news. And these are all pre-configured scenes that I have within OBS. And as long as you have multiple scenes set up in OBS and are using the OBS, it'll actually just pull directly from your link to the software on your computer. And we'll go ahead and do this one as news. And I literally just title these what they are. So in the on state at the bottom, in the off state, I do want the name at the top, and it is the same there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add another one here. I'm going to go ahead and first add an audio button. So this will be my audio controls. This will be titled mic, and that will be my on state. My off state, again, will be at the top. That way I can tell when my mic is muted. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to switch the media source on that to my mic or aux, so that way it is always changing that. What you can also do is create a new icon, or you can set from a file. So that's what you can do with the Stream Deck. That's the basic setup. What I have for mine is I'm going to go ahead and go to Layout in the Settings tab, which is just this little gear icon here. You click that, you'll get General Accounts and Layout. You do have to connect your accounts if you're going to use any of the Twitch or Twitter stuff. It just saves your credentials and then asks for authorization. If you use any apps with other integrations, you'll be familiar with that. Can we use this to do such and such? So what I'm going to do is you can either reset it to the default, you can clear the current configuration, or you can import. I'm going to go ahead and import my configuration, and that's just right here. It's an IIC file. And yes, I will go ahead and replace the current layout. So this is my layout. I've got a folder for OBS that I can hit, and it'll just show me my pre-show, news, gameplay, and BRB, and then my mic so I can mute and unmute myself. And then I've got Twitch where I can drop my social media links, my end of stream, and a subscribe message. I've got a few other things that I'm working on putting in here, but that's just kind of the default of what I keep up and the stuff I use all the time when streaming. So that I defaulted to. It's a quick and easy setup process. There's a lot more to it you can get by hitting that welcome button and going through their guide. I will also be doing a guide on how to use the Stream Deck and configuration of that in the future. And once I do, I will link to it down below. But I've been using this guy for about a week, and it's a pretty incredible device. Makes streaming a lot easier. I don't have to fiddle around with my mouse as much, which is definitely a huge, huge help. But guys, thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, go ahead and give it a thumbs down and throw in the notes what you didn't like, what you think I could do better, keeping in mind that this isn't a full comprehensive review. So guys, again, thank you for watching. I'm Power Wang Z. We'll catch you on the live stream or catch you in the next video. Peace out.